which you can now do through water instead of fire.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she wanted to talk about. And it's not done in Texas, but you can take the body through the Neptune Society. You can take people out and do it, I guess. Work to Truett. Smith. Okay. Let's see.
Well, I didn't mark all of it.
No, we're good. I just don't know who Quincy Hall is.
Oh.
I just suddenly, you immediately get,
That's a weird one.
you think you've got it, and then it's all completely like immediately you hit something you don't know. Um, Elliot Deutsch has only got the Manning case, right?
Uh,
Don't worry if that's not an easy, quick answer. I'll find it.
yes.
D and D. Oh, Charles Falk. I've got more unknowns than knowns today. Of course, Jeanette. That's probably Cordova. It's Cal. Hmm. Uh-huh.
Pre-trial. Agreed to a deferral, agreed and I said, oh yes, I can pay the bond, and now she can't. So we've
Okay.
seen her twice now.
Have we started her deferral yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And
Sometimes
$2 a month.
I remember reading this and asking to talk to her. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to just admit everybody and get going. Thank. Good morning, everyone. Just leave it on mute until we get to your case, but I'm Judge Person and I do welcome everybody to court this morning. We're doing municipal court online because we still can agree to do that. If anyone would prefer to cancel this meeting and come in and have meeting in the courtroom, that's perfectly acceptable too, and just let me know if that's your situation. But otherwise, I'll assume folks agree to be here and would like to be here. I do have some quick announcements to make because there are folks who are here who do not have to be here. And so if I could, and what I'm going to let you know is the paperwork that I've received from the prosecution that are agreements. I'm just going to review them with you real quickly and make sure that we really are all understanding one another. And then I'll let you go and make announcements at that point. So on the Joshua Koloff case, let's see. I'm looking for who the attorney is on that case. Give me just a moment. It's not listed. Oh, it's the Kelly McMahon law firm. I now understand what you're saying. Thank you. So I'm just signing that. And we'll send that over to that law firm. And then Thomas Swain on the Juan Carlos Campos case. We have a deferral and a dismissal And I am signing both, and we'll email that over to you. And you're free to go unless you have another case. I haven't looked yet. Sometimes that attorney does. And then if I could on the Stetson Childress case, and that's going to be David Deaconson. I've got a lot of identified folks this morning, which I'll do in a moment. That is a deferral, and I am signing and agreeing to approving the agreement there. Charity Escobedo on that case. That is Kyra Leal. Are you here? A little more involved on that one. I remember it from the last pretrial. That one has several dismissals. Thank you. Then Jose Jimenez on the Jimenez case. Thomas Swain, I believe you're here. I'm not seeing him. There is a reduction, which I'm approving. And I guess we'll reach out and see what's disconnected there. Elliot Deutsch, I know I did see you. Good morning, sir. I believe you just have the single case and it's involving Spencer Manning, and the state has made a motion to dismiss that charge, which is the only charge that your client had. And so with the thanks of the court, we're going to email that over to the email that we have on file, and you are good to go with the thanks of the court.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Good morning. Take care.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Deutsch.
Pleasure.
And on the Manuel Ramos Mina case, let's see. I believe I've got Tom Sigmund on that case. And there's a deferral, which I do approve of. We'll reach out to them. I think they thought that it was done. And then finally, the Portia Truitt case. I believe I saw Miss Truitt a moment ago. Maybe. There she is. Let's see. I'm going to ask her to unmute and just to get on video.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
Hi, I'm well. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to see how to put this on video. Excuse me.
That's all right. I just want to I'm going to check in with the clerk while you do that.
Okay.
Left once we do that. Okay. Are there any balances owed on any other cases, or are they all dismissed? Okay. Ms. Truitt, don't worry about being on screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Perfect. So I'm just going to let you know that the prosecution has submitted dismissals on your cases. They have elected not to pursue them.
Okay.
And I agree with that, and I am signing. And so really and I'm signing them all now, we're going to email those to you later today because it's a stack of things. But once that is signed, we'll email them over so that you have copies.
Yes, ma'am.
You should be done with your matters with the court, and with the thanks of the court, you're free to go at this time.
Thank you so much. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too. I appreciate that.
Your Honor, this is
Yeah.
Dave Deaconson. I don't think you saw because of my initials. I'm with Stetson Childress. Am I free to go, or do you need me?
You are. I was just getting to, I wasn't sure if you were a D&D player, but now I see David Deaconson. I got it. So my son plays, so I just thought that might be what happened there. But I was just about to go through the names I wasn't sure of. So yes, your case, the only person you had for today was the Stetson Childress case.
Yes, Your Honor.
I've approved your agreement and we're going to send that over to you now or shortly this morning at some point. It'll come to the email that we use to set up this meeting. So you are,
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you. And Ernesto Acevedo, you have a meeting this morning with Mr. Matson, who will introduce himself right now.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, I'd like to see if I could work out a plea bargain for my
All
client.
right. Mr. Matson, if you could just go on unmute and just let everybody know who you are.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Madison, prosecutor for the city of Temple.
Okay, you're kind of muted. Not sure why. And there was a slight delay to your, but I'm going to move you over to the meeting and see if that works because there's a breakout room. Mr. Acevedo, I'm moving you over to that breakout room to have that conversation and we'll see where that goes. Of course, there's no, obligation to resolve, but if you do, I usually don't have a problem with it. So I will let y'all have a conversation. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate that.
Thank you. And Mr. Matson, I'll move you over as well. It just sounds like a slow connection. Maybe it's going to resolve. And let me see where we are. Okay, so let me try to figure out. I have a few folks I wasn't sure who they were, and I just want to check in. There's a person with headphones on, possibly in a car, but it's not moving, named Zoom user, and I've asked you to unmute. If you could let me know your name.
Yes, ma'am. Isaiah Rodriguez.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I have time with you this morning, and I'll be meeting with you. I will be right back with you here shortly. And I'm actually going to just change the name on my screen so that I can not lose track of where you are in the scheme of things.
Okay.
But we'll visit here in just a short bit of time. And then I had a person named iPhone, a person with long hair and glasses. If you can unmute and let me know.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. My name is Emma Escovel Thompson.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And now I've got you down. Let's see. And folks, if I change your name on the screen, then not to fear, it changes back when you hang up to what you had before. So don't worry about that. And then got D&D. Oh. Let's see. I had a person named Quincy Hall. And if you could unmute for a quick moment and just let me see you on screen as well. And I'm just looking up to see if it's the case you have. Let's see. We have him for open court in July.
Apologies, John. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, I have Marshall. Hold on. Let me, Mr. Hall,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you today?
I'm doing well, ma'am. I apologize. I just missed you. I didn't mean for you to beckon me.
I'm sorry, you cut out in half of that and I didn't understand it. Again?
Yes, ma'am. I said I apologize. Yes, ma'am. I said I apologize. I was focused on something else. I'm sorry I missed your request. But yes, I'm here for Mr. Kafka.
Oh, okay. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Mr. Kalka. So you're here with the Brett Pritchard Law Firm.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha. I think Mr. Kalka is also here, or maybe I misunderstood that. No, he is here. Okay, when that meeting happens, I'm assuming he's going to come into that meeting with you. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, great. We'll be with you soon. And thank you for helping me understand. You can go
Yes, ma'am.
on. Don't worry about, thank you for apologizing. I think we're good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Mattson, let me talk to you and Attorney Acevedo. And this is on the, give me a second.
Mary Blanchard.
Blanchard, that's it, right at the top. Okay, where are we with regard to this matter?
Your Honor, we have reached an agreement.
Okay,
On the license citation. I'm going to be dismissing that. Mr. Acevedo has provided a copy of his client's ID, which is what I was looking for.
is it an ID or a license?
It's a license. It's a driver's license.
Okay. Is that in the file already?
It is not. He did send me a copy of it though.
Okay, as long as it's in play, we're good. And then there's a speeding charge. Where are we with regard to that?
That is going to be deferred, Your Honor.
Okay. So we're
Okay,
still the same thing specifically? All right.
Yep.
sorry, go ahead.
That is going to be deferred.
Okay, what are the terms and conditions that y'all have agreed to?
It's just going to be the 120 days with payment in 30 days. And I believe Mr. Acevedo is going to just make that payment on the online portal.
Okay, so Mr. Acevedo, Attorney Acevedo, as I hear the agreement, there's a dismissal on the license charge and then a deferral on the speeding charge of 120 days with payment on the 30th day. And you or your client will pay online or by phone through the portals that we have available. That works fine for the court. Is that your understanding?
That is our agreement, Judge, and I should be able to, as long as I can get the portal to work, I'll be making that payment right now.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna get the, if you could wait a moment. Okay, you're good to make the payment. The clerk's gotta set that up, but she's ahead of us, so we'll send that deferral order over to you shortly. And for signature and the dismissal as well. And I'll pre-sign the deferral. That way, once you sign it and send it back, you have your copy ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Judge. I appreciate the courtesy.
Thank you, Attorney Acevedo. If you have anything else that the court needs to address, now would be a good time. Do you have any?
That's it. I don't get to practice in Temple very often, so I appreciate the help.
Yes, you're welcome. And with the thanks of the court, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so let me hand that off. And then Mr. Mattson is going to advance forward and talk to Attorney Miller. And I have moved him over to that meeting.
Thank you, Judge.
And we're moving so fast, I'm not even getting to make announcements yet. Mr. Falk, could I have you unmute and just tell me who you're here representing today? I somehow not sure maybe which firm you're with.
No, that's okay, Your Honor. I'm with the Smith and Vincent Law Firm, so I'm here on Elizabeth Fernandez.
Got it. Okay.
And that one, I actually don't know that I need to meet with Mr. Mattson because she still has a pending felony, and her next court date is the 26th on that. So I imagine we would just track that felony with the, I believe it's a public intox is her matter in this court.
Okay, I actually do require that y'all go ahead and meet, but it's coming right up, so I'll have y'all do that, and that way we can maybe get y'all to a point where you know where we need to land on the calendar, and y'all can let me know that.
All right, thank you, Judge.
I would ask y'all to do that by agreement, if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
And so I will just mark you down as her Vincent and Smith representative. So thank you very much. Okay. Now, let's see. My Graffiero is coming in. And I'm not sure who she is. Oh, there she is. She was in earlier. Okay, I think I've identified everybody that I need to identify. So just a few pieces of information. And I do want to let you know that if you're given a ticket or issued a citation under Texas law, those are methods for accusing a person. That is what a ticket is. It is an accusation. when we give a plea, we're giving our answer, we're giving our response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading. That's our answer to that accusation: guilty, not guilty, no contest. Guilty means I did this as charged, and if you plead guilty, we're going to move into sentencing. I'm going to talk about sentencing options here in a moment, what's available from the court. And I like to just put everything out on the table for everybody. And then when it's your case, when we're talking about your situation, well, at that point, if you have individual questions, we can do that. I do want to let you know, though, that neither I nor members of the court staff are allowed to give legal advice. If you're looking for legal advice, you want to do that prior to having your plea accepted by the court. And when that happens, the way that you let me know that you need a break in order to seek legal advice, the attorney of your choosing, you just say, Judge, I need some time, and I'll reschedule your case for a different day. You may decide you want to hire someone to represent you. You may decide you don't. I don't have an opinion about that. It's really your decision. But if we need to give some space to the case, so to speak, and give you time to do that, well, that's what we'll do. So just let me know, hey, I need some time. And I'll talk to you about it and see where we are with regard to the status of your case and give time if I can do so. Okay. So again, just trigger that with I need time. Now, if you enter a plea, we're moving into sentencing. And again, guilty means I did this, okay? No contest means I'm not contesting it. I'm not agreeing with it either. I'm just saying, go ahead and sentence me, Judge, not contesting, okay? So if you plead guilty or no contest, we're moving into sentencing. If you plead not guilty, which is the presumption of innocence, you're just maintaining that innocence. But that case is moving toward trial, because if we're presumed innocent, that means the state will have to prove the case against us. So that case is moving toward trial. And I have a number of you on that pretrial docket today. I like to do that, prior to trial, because some things can get to a resolution, some things can't. There's no pressure to resolve it that way. But now it is the opportunity to try to do that. Now is the most convenient time to do that. And so you're meeting with the prosecution. Another reason for the meeting, though, is statusing basically the case. So, like, for example, we have a case I just learned a moment ago, probably going to move that case out a little bit, because it sounds like it may be connected to a larger charge. And sometimes that's what happens with those cases. Sometimes not, sometimes it does. So attorneys are going to talk about that. And, those kinds of conversations, some of them I'm not supposed to be privy to. If we're talking about scheduling, I'm privy to that. If we're talking about agreements, I'm part of that. But if we are talking about the facts of the case, I'm not part of that. And so we do that in a pretrial because of that presumption of innocence. I shouldn't pre-decide those cases and hear those facts before the right time, which is when everyone's in the courtroom and there's an opportunity to dispute and question and put on witnesses. And that's your right. If you're doing that, I want to make sure we're protecting that right. So we have a breakout room, and we're doing that today. And it's a convenience that the court is still able to offer by agreement. And it's, helpful because then you don't have to come all the way over here to take that step. Okay, so if you're pleading not guilty, you're having a breakout meeting with the prosecutor, and that prosecutor is Mr. Matson at this time, and he can make offers on the cases. He can choose to recommend dismissals. If y'all come to me with an agreement, more than 9 times out of 10, I'm probably, signing off on that agreement and approving it. I have the right to reject it, but generally speaking, I sort of feel like if both parties agree, why would I disagree? So if I'm doing that, I will explain what is happening, but normally agreements are accepted by the court if the both parties are a party to the agreement. Now, if you plead guilty or no contest, as I mentioned a moment ago, I'm moving that case into sentencing. Under Texas law, that generally means that you're found guilty, it goes on your record, and you pay the fines and costs. So first, let's talk about payment. Sometimes people want a payment plan, okay? Sometimes people need time to make payment, maybe long time, sometimes a short period of time. You can automatically have 30 days to make payment. After 30 days, on the 31st day, a fee gets added. So if you want to save, $15+ you might want to do that within 30 days. If you need to pay something out, we can have that discussion. Sometimes people can't make payment. They've got a situation on their, plate where they're having, a real tough time. And if that's what's happening for you, we can talk about that and I can see if there are alternatives to payment. And I can do that pretty much. I can say this. In most instances, I can do this pretty much throughout your case. So if you're in a payment plan and you're paying for 4 months and then suddenly you lose your position, come in and talk to a clerk. If the clerk can't help you, they'll bounce you in to talk to me. We usually can resolve payment issues without having to look at jail time. Jail time is very much a last resort, and I prefer not to use it. So if you come in and talk to us and you are earnestly trying to resolve your case and things have happened that weren't happening before, we can talk about that and figure out where we are. Okay. So those are a variety of options in there with payment or alternatives, or even once your case has gone forward, if you run into problems, we can look at it at that point as well. What you don't want to do is wind up with a warrant because you neglect or ignore the case. I'm going to assure you that the case won't go away until it is fully resolved by the court or with the court. That means a zero balance or a dismissal, whichever is most appropriate for the case as it stands. I'm going to pause right there and ask Mr. Miller and Mr. Matson to unmute, and because they're back in the room and I want to keep that docket moving. And so if we could start with, I don't really care, it could be Pineda or it could be Hildebrand. Which would y'all like to take up first?
We can start with Pineda, Judge.
Okie doke.
I'd actually like to reset. I believe that there's 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yes.
5 total offenses. Can we
Yes.
reset those to the next Zoom court date? I think we're going to be able to resolve it prior to that.
Okay. So pretrial Zoom next available is August 12th. Can that work for you, Mr. Miller?
That's fine, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just going to put an offer has been made, and then I'm assuming you need to talk to your client, and or that y'all are going to do that prior to. So we will email that reset form to the email that we used for today. And now on the Hildebrand case, where are we? Where does it stand?
Judge, this defendant is 16, so I wanted to see if teen court would be an option for them.
Are they enrolled in school?
Yes, Your Honor. That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. With proof of enrollment, teen court is an automatic. You're in unless you have not successfully, unless you have been in teen court the year prior. Changing lanes were unsafe. What we normally do, Mr. Miller, is we set the case for a meeting with the juvenile case manager, and they can coordinate that with you if you wish to attend, no problem. But we need we pretty well need a parent if that's an option. Do we have a parent involved?
We can, Your Honor. Yes, that should not be an issue.
Okay. And would you want to attend with the parent and the client to?
I would, Your Honor. Yes, if that's an option.
Yes, of course it is, Mr. Miller. Question. And then what happens is that meeting takes place. It's usually half an hour. It's here at the court. Usually not during court time, but it can be during court time. It kind of depends on schedules. And what we're doing is seeing what they recommend, the case managers recommend. And then in this case, what we would do is bounce that back to you and Mr. Matson, make sure y'all agree, and then bring it to me. And if we don't get an agreement, that's okay. Then we just attend the next pretrial. So the next pretrial would be August 12th, and because that's Zoom. And what I'll do is have a case manager reach out to your office to coordinate a time. And do you happen to know where your client is enrolled in school?
I don't, Your Honor. I can get that information. I also, Mr. Matson had agreed for me to talk this over with my client and his family to see if it's something that they wanted to participate in. And if not, have a backup plan for that.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. So if
Thank you.
What will happen is they'll reach out to you, the case manager will, and if you say client doesn't want to participate, then we have the backup date of a reset of August 12th.
Perfect.
And if they say yes, we do, then you've got some dates to run by them. And I mean, they'll give you some dates, and then they'll coordinate that with you. Y'all will get that meeting at a time that works for everybody. And we're going to be trying to do paperwork prior to the next reset in order to remove it from the reset. So it'll either be on there as a backup or it gets removed because we've got an option that everybody's agreed to.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And then what I'll tell them is that you and your client are going to provide the proof of enrollment for that program. That program usually involves a $20 payment. And then sometimes there are either classes or essays, things like that. And I'm just telling you that so that you have something to, when your client says, what is it going to look like?
Right.
It's going to probably look like something like that.
Sounds great.
Okay. Then we will reset that case. And I will have a case manager, not sure which one, reach out to you and y'all will take it from there.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Do you have anything further that you need to discuss with the court?
No, Your Honor.
Then with the thanks of the court, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Matson.
Thank you. Mr. Hall, I'm moving you over with your client to meet with Mr. Matson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kalka, I'm moving you over to that meeting as well. Okay. And let's see. So we have Kalka and then we have this is the Fernandez case. And Attorney Miller. Sorry, just keeping track of everybody. Okay. True, it was dismissed. Manning, they're almost done. Okay. So just back to options. Now, when I talked about it, I said you're found guilty, it goes on your record and then payment. And we talked about payment. Having something go on your record in a Class C court. In a Class C court, you have 4 options available from the judge, from the bench directly on a plea of guilty or no contest. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. So compliance dismissals are things that by law are designated that can be brought up to date and dismissed. If you have something like that, I will automatically start looking for that dismissal option to see if you qualify for the dismissal. And if there are steps that can be taken to get you to that option, well, then I'm going to go ahead and start talking to you about how to get there. The law authorizes me to do that on compliance cases, and I will automatically do so. Moving violations can be dismissed through a driver safety course option. This option will save you money. It won't not really save you time. You will have to take a course and you will have to provide your driving record. But instead of paying for the whole ticket, you're actually going to pay for the court costs. The fine, every ticket has a court cost and a fine. The fine will go on hold. And if you turn in the proper driving record and the proper course, and you've already paid the court costs, which we will talk about, then your case gets dismissed. And when I sign that dismissal, I waive that fine as well. It does keep it off your record. People do tend to move back into a less risk assessment level, statistically speaking, once they complete that process. And it is an option available for many of the drivers in Texas. And again, on a plea of guilty or no contest, as the judge of the court, I'm authorized to step in and start talking to you about that option. If you don't want to do that option, let me know. I won't be upset with you, but I automatically assume people would like a dismissal and would like to save money, and that they might be willing to give a little time to the class in order to do so. We do accept online classes as well as live classes that are around your town. If you do an online class, you can log in and out, which can be a little bit of a convenience for getting that done. But there's a window of time to get it completed, and I'll talk to you about how much time you have. It's 90 days from the date that you pay the costs. So I'll automatically look for those, okay? The third option is called a deferred disposition. A deferred disposition is a window of time where you have terms and conditions that apply to your case. The terms and conditions, if met, and they're listed on paper, okay, and you sign it, sometimes the prosecutor needs to sign it. I sign it. Once I sign it, it's a valid option. And at that point, once I sign it, you are in that deferral, and the deferral at the end of the deferral period, if you've met all the terms and conditions that are listed, you gain a dismissal. And in Class C court, you can ask the judge for a deferral directly without the prosecution being involved in the conversation. So you may also ask the prosecutor if you're meeting with the prosecutor, but you don't have to go onto the pretrial docket in order to make the request. And that's a little bit different from higher level courts. Class C courts are authorized to do that. And the way that you ask for a deferred is to enter your plea, guilty or no contest, and make the request. I would like a deferred. And then the judge of the court is free to say you may have a deferred, ask some questions, or say no, you're not getting a deferred from me. But they are required to remain open to the request for each and every person and not predetermine each case or cases ahead of time. So you just make that request if you're looking for a deferred. It's an alternative way to get a dismissal, most especially where the first two, the compliance case or the driving safety course option, sometimes those don't work. They don't work, for example, for, say, a theft charge. They don't work, for example, for a tobacco charge. So if you're looking for a deferred and the other two don't, sorry, a dismissal, and the other two do not work, you might request a deferral, and we can discuss what the terms and conditions might look like for that deferral, and you can decide if you agree or don't agree. Okay? But you do have to make the request. If you're enrolled in school, like middle school, high school, a GED program, you might be eligible for teen court. It looks very similar to a deferred with some key differences. And if I have something like that, well, we'll go into it a little bit more this morning. I have covered it a little bit already. And potentially, if we have any high school students, well, I will talk to you about it further. Okay, Mr. Matson's ready to move forward. Is Mr. Hall and Mr. Kalka ready to move back into the main room here?
Judge.
Great. Let me get them back over. And then we'll talk about their case, and then we'll move on to, I believe, your last case of the day. Okay, so where are we with regard to the Kulka case?
Yes, Your Honor. We're going to get some discovery on it specifically. I believe that's already being provided to us, and we're going to ask for a quick reset for August specifically in order for us to see what kind of deal we want to get into after discovery has been like that.
Okay, so we're resetting for August 12th, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mattson, did you agree to that?
Judge, and I did send the discovery folder over to Mr. Hall this morning, so that has been provided.
Okay, great. We'll look for that confirmation sheet from you. And so we are resetting to August 12th. And if we have an agreement by that date, great. We'll
Yes, Your Honor.
see where we are.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Hall, unless you have further matters for the court, you're free to go. Do you have anything further?
No, Your Honor, I do not. Thank you very much.
Both you and Mr. Kalka are free to hang up at this time. And Mr. Kalka, you and your attorney can talk about what's happening here. If you have any questions, I'll direct you to him for those, okay? Thank you for being here, and I appreciate it. I read what you were saying. Okay, y'all are good to go.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Mr. Mattson, I asked Mr. Falk to remain on because he's here on the Elizabeth Fernandez case. And apparently there is a higher level charge on that offense. I will tell you that this is our 5th appearance date, and I don't mind a reset, but maybe y'all could talk about what's realistic in terms of the reset so that we don't just drive those numbers up and, you know, we're taking the place of other folks who need to be heard when we do that. And I don't mind, but if we're just resetting, maybe we can sort of pick a time that's going to work. So I asked him to just hang out for a minute and visit with you briefly, if y'all could do that. Thank you. I'm going to move you over, Mr. Falk, and I'll let y'all converse privately, and y'all can come back in and let me know where we appear to be at this point.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Okay. And if I could, I too need to talk to some people. Allegro Fierro, can you get on screen maybe and unmute?
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I just want to kind of check in because we have, let's see, 9 cases.
Yeah.
And we're doing community service on maybe all of these. Let me double check.
Yeah, I think it was for all of them.
And we had 96 hours due. And I knew that, you know, that was a month, but you know, I haven't felt like we were getting real meaningful communication. And, you know, generally speaking, when we have this many hours, I do expect that they're going to trickle in and we're going to do a few times that we reset. But if I'm not hearing back from the person or if I'm hearing from them, but I'm not getting any hours turned in, I asked to have a conversation because at this point, you know, the cases were about to head to warrant.
Yeah.
Where are you? Have you started doing community service?
I was trying to, but the job that I had, it didn't work with the hours that the community service had. And then now I started a different job and my hours are different now. So
let me look real quick and see if I have enough information. Where are you working?
I work at the hospital now for errand work.
Okay. And are you paid every 2 weeks there or?
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
What day of the week? Can I get a?
I believe it's Fridays. I haven't got my first paycheck yet, but I think it's Fridays.
Okay, and you just started?
Yeah.
Okay. So I probably don't have that information.
No.
We can pause on that request. So I can give you, where were you trying to do the community service?
Um, I'm not sure. I don't remember what all it had. I don't remember what I did with the list that I had, but I had called like one or two different places, but their times were like the same time that I had to be at work.
Mhm. Okay. Are you asking for a payment plan or are you asking for a continuation community
I would
service?
rather try to do the payment plan. I think it would just be easier that way.
Okay. Then what I will do is a month from today, I'm going to start you on $25 a month.
Okay.
And you can always pay more and just get it done faster.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably want to do that because I do think there are holds on your license renewal.
Yeah.
And that starts July 24th is my 30 days.
Okay.
I am going to need you to sign off on a payment plan.
Okay.
And all right, I'm making some notes. Yeah. And so when can you, thank you. Can you come by today before lunch to sign off?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay, what time should we look for you?
I can be there at about like 10:30-ish, maybe.
Okay,
Maybe a little bit sooner.
okay. Everything will be for you to sign will be available from any clerk when you come to the window.
Okay.
And just let them know you're here to sign up on your payment plan.
Okay.
And as always, if you run into difficulty making payments, please come in like you did and talk to them before the warrant letter comes to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. And so that'll be there for you. And you can always pay more without penalty.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just get done faster, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And if I could talk to Jeanette Cordova, that would be great. Ms. Cordova, can you unmute and are you able to get on screen?
Yes.
Hi. So I did grant a deferral back in April for you. There was a bond due, that's the payment by May 22nd, about a month out from the date that I'd granted it. So you asked for a payment plan, but the problem with that is payment plans they don't really work with deferrals, although we can do a payout in your deferral, but we need to spell it out in that deferral. And so I set it for Zoom court. You didn't show up for that. I just was trying to discuss with you when you could make payment. All the while the deferral time is ticking. And I amended just on my own and split your bond payment up and reset it for a Zoom court date for July 8th. And we're early on that, which is fine. So then the word back I got was you can't pay more than $50 a month. And of course, we've had 2 months since this all started. So I'm getting to the point where the deferral is going to run out of time, which means that, if we want to just do $50 a month, I can enter a conviction and just put a conviction out there and do a payment plan, or we're going to have some firm dates of payment on this deferral. And the only thing I could do with the amount that is on that deferral is I could do 3 payments of $78. I would have to, if I give you more than a month, if I give you a month to pay it and do 3 payments, 3 months out, I'm going to have to extend your deferral and I'm running out of time to do some of that. So I could do, if you wanted to do that, I could do a first payment July 24th. Then I could do the third payment August 25th. And then I could do a final payment September 22nd. And I could have the deferral run out into November and do a show cause October 22nd, where we check in and talk about payment. That would keep you on the deferred, but it would be $78, $78, and $78. Can you do that?
Yeah, it's fine. I can do that.
Okey doke. I won't be able to make any more changes after today. It's just, it's gone a little too far as the time frames. But I'm making those changes now. Give me another moment. Okay. We will email that to the email that we used to set up today's meeting. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Okay, you're good to go then. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And you too. Okay, let's talk about the Elizabeth Fernandez case.
Judge, realistically, I think that if we reset this to September rather than August, Mr. Falk said that they have discussions this week with the county attorney on where the other charges are going to be going. So I think that if we have a September date for this one, we'll be able to resolve it by then.
Okay, I'm pulling up my calendar. Hang on one moment. I have Zoom available, I think. I'm gonna check this with the clerk. The 23rd of September.
I think I am out that day, actually.
Okay. My other available for Zoom that month is the 9th of September.
That'll work for me if that works for you, Mr. Falk.
It should. Certainly someone from our firm that'll be updated should be able to make that. Yeah.
Okay, 9/9/25. So
9/9 at 9.
right, at 9, yes. That's funny. I hadn't even noticed that yet. Okay, we will send that over to your email that we used for today. Do you have any further questions?
No, Your Honor. Just thank you very much for the court's patience. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. We're very patient here. Take care. You're good to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Mattson, I have nothing further for you unless you have anything you need to take up with the court.
Just briefly, Judge, the Jose Jimenez speeding citation. I had been in discussion with Mr. Swain about a deferral that I couldn't do that until the production was entered.
Okay,
So I will probably be getting you that deferral order today. I'm sure he'll respond to me when I send it to him.
the deferral, okay. The reduction has been done.
Okay.
And so you're free to proceed forward. And if not, we'll see if we need to reschedule that case.
That sounds like a good plan, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Isaiah Rodriguez, can you unmute?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hi. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Are you in school?
No, ma'am. I'm graduated. I'm
Wait.
full-time employed.
Okay. Where did you graduate? When did you graduate?
Class of 2023. So it's been 2 years.
Okay. And so this theft charge, let me check one more thing. I think
Wait,
that,
I don't have a theft charge.
I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong file. Please excuse me.
No, you're fine. I just, yeah.
No, you're good.
I had the PI and then consumption of a minor.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I have Aranaga and I have Esquivel Thompson. I think I accidentally maybe handed you the wrong one at some point. I didn't think I did, but I don't see. I see him on my list, but I don't see his file. Okay. We're getting that ready. Give me a moment. I seem to have not have it, but I can get it pulled up easily since we're basically paperless. So okay. So there's a public intoxication case, and that is a case with fines and costs of $296. And I know I have proof of time served.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't have a problem doing time served on the underlying amount. Let me look at, but that case as well as the other, we have requirements generally regarding the need to do classes.
Yes, ma'am.
And those are required by law, or you get a license suspension.
Okay.
I'm also looking at your request, which was for a deferred disposition, which
Yes.
I have a problem with. I'm going to grant it.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And so I'm just re-reviewing real quickly the other case as well. Give me one more second.
Okay.
The consumption of alcohol by a minor, again, probably proof of time served is going to work. I'm just checking the dates real quickly. Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, he was arrested on that charge. Do you like doing barber work?
Yes, ma'am. I enjoy it. I get to meet new people. I get to make people feel good about themselves. So I
Yeah,
don't really, it's like a work of art for me. I like to draw, so I
that's
look at it like that.
so again, the dates work for time served. And I liked hearing about that. That is, yeah, that is an art. So that's
Yes, yeah.
cool. So I have no contest plea on each of these, a request for a deferred disposition on each of these, a request for time served on both of these.
Well, the lady told me to request deferred, and if you wouldn't approve it, then she told me to write down there to for you to look at the time served. So that's why I have both. But
Um,
mainly, I just or I
actually,
don't.
okay, let me
No,
talk.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Actually, I will grant the deferred. On payment, I'm granting time served on both of the cases. So you won't be paying anything in addition.
Okay.
But on the deferral, I am going to require that you take an alcohol intervention class and that you do 12 hours of alcohol-related community service. The way that you do that and sorry, it's a 12-hour class. Wait a minute.
I can do that online.
Yes,
Okay.
let me get my thinking straight here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting myself turned around. Hang on one second. They're not every day, so sometimes I get twisted and turned. And I'm missing what I need. Let's see. Here it is.
12 hours of community service.
How many? 12?
8 to 12 hours of community service.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say how many hours per.
Okay. I'm going to order an 8-hour class and then 12 hours of alcohol-related community service. I'm going to do that. The deferrals will run together, but you'll only take one class and you'll only do 12 hours of alcohol-related community service. But when you're signing up for the online classes, you need to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I've got this community service to do that is alcohol related, because you do it actually through an assignment through the class. Okay. And so you're looking for a provider that will do that with you. I'm going to provide you with a list of providers. I'm going to provide you with contact number for a case manager. That way, in case you run into any issues getting one or the other done, you'll have someone you can call and we'll talk to you about what you might do. Okay. I do need a signature today on this, and I need to hand you kind of a stack of papers, and I'll highlight the significant portions. When can you come by the court to pick up your paperwork and make signatures?
I can come right now.
Okay, like 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'm like down the street, like a few minutes by
Okay,
the golf course.
okay, okay. Come on down to the court, and we should have your paperwork at the window, and I should still be here
Okay.
if there are additional questions, okay?
Okay, with that paperwork, it'll have everything like how to get to the classes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be there shortly.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And if I could talk to Emma Esquivel Thompson. And if you can get on screen, that will help.
Hold on, let me. Can you hear me? I'm trying to figure out. It's not coming up. See, there you go. Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking. And so I just want to give me 1 second to get reoriented.
You're good.
Got my paperwork turned around. There we go. So this is a theft a theft charge.
Mhm.
Give me a quick moment. I am checking because I think you might be eligible for a program. Yes. Yes, for a
Okay.
program that we have available. And I just want to make sure, because if so, it's a pretty good one. Hold on. I'm just wanting to see if you're on time, and I think you are. Yeah. So what I'll tell you is we have what is called a first offender program.
Mhm.
And the first offender program requires a signature. You'll be signing saying you understand that you have 60 days, but you don't have to wait that long to provide proof provide proof that you've completed an online theft theft class. That's 8 hours.
Okay.
And it'll be due August 25th.
Okay.
And if you get your class turned in on or before that next date, which is August 25th, sorry, it's going to be August 12th. If you turn it in the day of, you'll need to log into the Zoom. If you turn it in early, you'll want to check the day of and see if you still have Zoom. Generally, if you get the class turned in on time, I can dismiss the charge. You don't pay anything but for the class. You don't pay fines and costs, and you don't get found guilty.
Okay.
And we dismiss. We do this because theft charges have a tendency to ruin people's career options when they're very young. And
Yes, ma'am.
this would avoid that. And
Yeah.
what would then happen is you would have a dismissal. You've never been on probation for it or anything like that. You just had a case and the charges were dropped. And our experience at the court is that if a person takes that class, they learn what they need to learn to keep themselves out of trouble for the next time they're tempted.
Yes. I couldn't even tell you why I did it. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I was just, but no, what you were saying about the job and having career. I just got my cosmetology license yesterday, so I was very, very worried. So I wanted to look at any options I had other than just it being on my record.
Yes. So we have a local program, and that would be what you would be signing up to do to keep it off your record. And as I said, as long as you are early or on time with the class, you would wind up having a dismissal and no conviction and not pay
Okay.
the ticket. And what we found is that you'll actually answer that question for yourself when you're in that class. You'll be able to say, oh, that's what I was doing. And that's why that doesn't work. So it's going to help you, and it will also help you come up with kind of a plan to avoid being in that position again.
Okay, thank you.
And all of that really will just keep your options open for your future.
Okay, thank you.
What time can you be here?
Um, could I just come right now to come sign it?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'll be down there in 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay, it's 10:15, so I'll say around 11.
Okay, so where am I going? Is it just the Temple Court?
Right, the Temple Municipal Court.
Okay,
You'll want to put that because there are several JP courts in town, and
okay,
you can wind up in the wrong place, frantic. And
okay,
so we're actually located at 401 North Third Street, and it's
okay,
the Temple Municipal Court.
okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yes. Hi, Mr. Swain.
Good morning, Judge.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. Sorry I'm a little late. I got held up longer than I expected.
That's okay. What I'll tell you is Mr. Matson submitted a request to do a reduction on the case.
Yes, for Mr.
And then he
Jimenez.
told me that the two of you might discuss a deferral. He's already done for the day and gone. So the plan we came up with was you and he would get together as soon as possible now that reduction has been done. If y'all submit agreement paperwork to me, great. If not, we will reschedule it for August 12th. I figured one or both of you will let me know which way we're going.
Yes, and I mean, based on what I have in my file, we've already discussed the outcome, so I don't think there's really anything in doubt at this point.
Right. We didn't know, so I said, well, we'll create a backstop if we need to.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
So just reach out to him. I think he's looking to talk to you today.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. You're good to go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And I'm going